In your experience, which type of consumers are most likely to try a new beverage with a unique flavor profile?
I would say students and young adults are more likely to try something new compared to other groups. I wouldn't really expect senior citizens to be as open as, say, a high school student.
Do you believe that Canadian consumers are receptive to trying new flavors, or do they prefer more conventional options?
I think the Canadian consumer is often too conservative, but it also follows trends. So if something becomes popular in the US or Europe, I would say it's a lot easier to introduce it in Canada.
What do you think about what are the primary factors that influence a customer's decision when choosing a new beverage? Like, is it a taste, packaging, health benefits, or brand reputation?
Taste and overall health benefits would be, in my opinion, the most important factors, especially since we are more conscious nowadays about what we're drinking and how it might also affect our overall health.
How crucial is storytelling and brand identify in fostering a connection between consumers and the new beverage?
I would say we're currently in an era where the things that we buy or eat are pretty much part of our identity. So this brand identity needs to align with the customer's values, whether it's sustainable or organic, free of dangerous chemicals. I feel like now more than ever, it's very relevant.
Which social media platforms are most effective in promoting a new beverage brand in Canada?
I believe TikTok and Instagram would be the most critical right now, since most of the potential customers are on these apps. But I also think YouTube could be a powerful platform to promote any kind of brand, really.
Um, what role does influencer marketing play in the beverage industry, and how can a new brand effectively leverage it?
In my opinion, influencers do have sometimes too much power in the sense that they'll basically do anything to get more contracts, and this could involve promoting any brand, regardless of its actual benefits. I personally try my best to discover brands on my own, and overall, I'm not too trusting of influencers at all.
For a brand aiming to position itself as high quality and premium, what key messaging strategies would you recommend?
I think ultimately the most important thing about these high quality and premium brands is um, consumers are very smart nowadays, so they need to come up with a strategy that they can identify with, as well as use the right channels. Because maybe a consumer that prefers these luxury brands or high quality, they won't be looking in stores that don't have any of these brands at all. So I think that's very important, picking the right distribution channel, as well as coming up with a strategy that aligns with the values of their target customers.
What are some common mistakes that new beverages brand make in their marketing efforts that could be avoided?
Again, this is my opinion, but I would say many of these new beverage brands rely too much on social media. When at the end of the day, you as a consumer, you want to try the actual product. So even if it's a small sample, it can definitely impact the way you either decide to purchase or not. So I think they rely too much on the internet when they should be out there promoting the brand in places where the potential consumers can see and try it as well.
What's the most effective way to generate excitement and buzz around a new beverage within the initial month of its launch?
As for ways to generate excitement, I know depends on the overall experience that you're trying to sell. Um, Red Bull, of course, is a good example. They sell this idea of excitement, of adventure. So the product or the expectation of the product is to consume it and sort of like align it with this of a sense of adventure or fun. But I would say for premium brands or any brand for that matter, it's really important to, again, identify with your target customer and really understand their needs so you can define either an idea, a commercial that will resonate with what they want. And I would say this is probably the most efficient way. Understand your client, know your client, and then just build your identity around that.
Should a brand prioritize a digital marketing initially, or would it be more advantageous to combine online strategies within person events and partnerships?
I agree that having in-person events and partnerships combined with online strategies is definitely the way to go. As I mentioned in some of my previous answers, you need to connect with people out there, not just on social media, because it's a physical product. It's something that your consumers will uh, take to their homes physically. So they need to feel it, they need to touch it, they need to try it, and you can't just sell smoke in that sense.
What are your thoughts on using limited time offers or collaboration to drive initial interest in a new beverage?
As for my thoughts on limited time offers, I think that's also a great approach because it creates this sensation of urgency, the fear of missing out, and we are animals at the end of the day. We like being the first. We like being um, the I guess the initial customers. We take pride in that. So I know that can generate a lot of momentum for any brand.
If a brand wants to highlight a unique ingredient, such as saffron in our case, how should it be effectively communicated to maximize appeal?
If it's saffron, since it's a very unique ingredient, it would be important to mention its benefits, mention how it's ethical, how it's responsible. There's a responsible use of this ingredient. Highlight the benefits, of course, as I mentioned, but um, if that's going to be the selling point, if that's going to be the main attraction about this new product, then you should consider bringing that up so that the potential customers will be more curious about it while also feeling good about trying your product.